time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor and president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcements for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker,
We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of Mrs. Mary and Jackson Kellums of Rochelle, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Mrs. Berry and Jackson Kellums, age 72, of Rochelle, Georgia, died Wednesday, May 13th at the Atrium Health Navison in Macon, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Mary and Jackson Kellums, age 72, was held on Saturday, May 23rd, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Norris Harris officiated. The eulogy was delivered by the Reverend Florine Newberry. The burial followed at the Mount Ayr Baptist Church Cemetery in Pineview, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Mrs. Susan Miles and her husband Sir Donovan Miles, and Mrs. Betty Kellums Mathis and her husband Elder Eric Mathis. Her beloved grandchildren, Mr. Jaquil Robinson and his wife, Mrs. Brianna Robinson, and Miss Keller Miles. Her beloved sisters, Mrs. Ida Coley, Mrs. Josephine LaGria, Mrs. Gladys Reed, and Miss Yvonne Jackson. Her beloved brothers, Mr. Otis Jackson, Mr. Willie James Jackson, Mr. Jimmy Jackson, and Mr. Sammy Jackson. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends, to include Miss Candy Davis, Miss Brandy Davis, and Pastor Florine Porter Newberry. Survived Mrs. Mary Ann Jackson Kellum, age 72, of Rochelle, Georgia. Again, the family of Mrs. Mary Ann Jackson Kellum of Rochelle, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Miss Linda Diane Jones, age 56, of 730 South MLK Boulevard, Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, May 21st at Navison Health in Macon, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Santrisa Wilson and Mr. Richard Jones, both of Americus, Georgia. 3 beloved grandchildren, Three devoted brothers, Mr. Charles Jones of Cobb, Georgia, Mr. Jamie Baker, and Mr. Chris Baker, both of Americus, Georgia. Her beloved aunts and uncles, Mr. Raymond Bullock of Cobb, Georgia, Mrs. Rosella Laster and her husband, Mr. James Laster of Virginia Beach, Virginia, Miss Minnie Capel of Brooklyn, New York, Miss Bunny Bullock of Vienna, Georgia, Miss Tracy Pitts of Americus, Georgia. A special cousin, Miss Norma Mays, and her husband, Mr. Ronnie Mays of Americus, Georgia. A host of other relatives and many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Linda Diane Jones, age 56, of 730 South MLK Boulevard, Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Linda Diane Jones, age 56, will be held on Saturday, May 30th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Mathis K. Wright will officiate. The burial will follow at the Pleasant Grove Baptist Church Cemetery in Cobb, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Friday, May 29th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. United States Army veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan, age 72, of 1002 South 15th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Monday, May 18th at Brightmoor Hospice in Macon, Georgia. Survivors include his beloved brother, Mr. Freddie Mitchell, and his wife, Mrs. Barbara Mitchell of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. United States Navy veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan, age 72, of 1002 South 15th Street, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Army veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan, age 72, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Mrs. Brenda Gail Price Ford, age 70, of 412 East 27th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Monday, May 18th at Memorial Health in Savannah, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Consuelo Oliver of Brunswick, Georgia, Miss Nina Oliver Gray and her husband, Mr. Kenneth Gray, and Mr. Oscar L. Ford, both of Cordele, Georgia. Miss Kenyatta Ford Walton and her husband, Mr. Thomas Walton of Orange Park, Florida, and Miss Audrey Ford Angry and her husband, Mr. Nathaniel Angry of Brunswick, Georgia. 17 beloved grandchildren, 24 great-grandchildren, her beloved sisters and brothers, Miss Sandra Faye Shields of East Orange, New Jersey, Miss Jean Oliver Burks and her husband, Deacon James Burks, Miss Jackie Ridley, Mr. Ernest L. Kears, and Mr. Membrish Brown, all of Cordele, Georgia, Miss Daisy Wedges and her husband, the Reverend James Wedges of Warwick, Georgia, Mr. Greg Rivers and his wife, Mrs. Joanne Rivers of Warner Robins, Georgia. Her beloved companion, Mr. Larry McLeod of Cordele, Georgia. A special daughter, Miss Cynthia Campbell. A special nephew, Mr. Silence Ford Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. her friends at Geritol Crew and the Chris County School System Bus Shop survived Mrs. Brenda Gail Price Ford, age 70, of 412 East 27th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Brenda Gail Price Ford, age 70, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
Pastor's anniversary will be held today at 11:30 a.m. Sand Ridge Baptist Church and Dr. Jeffrey Lawrence will be in charge of the service. Dinner will be served. Sister LaChana Whitehead, Church Secretary. Deacon Wilbert Whitehead Jr. is the chairman. Reverend Lucius Albritton Jr. is the pastor. New Poplar Springs Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday at 9:45 a.m. Each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer and at 7 p.m. for Hour of Power. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. The Vienna Church of Christ invites everyone to worship with them in person or via Zoom each Sunday, with Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11 a.m., Bible study each Wednesday at 7 p.m. The Zoom number is 447-485-6691. Again, the Zoom number is 447-485-6691. Brother Carl Colbert is the minister. Shady Grove CME Church invites everyone to worship with them with Sunday school at 10 a.m., worship service at 11 a.m. Dial-in number is 518-425-1620. Bible study each Thursday at 7 p.m. via conference call. Again, the dial-in number is 518-425-1620. Friendship Missionary Baptist Church Annual Spring Revival will be Sunday, May 24th and Sunday, May 31st at 6 p.m. each evening. The guest revivalist, Sunday, May 24th, Pastor-elect Wallace Jordan III and the Lebanon Baptist Church Plains will be in charge of the service. On Sunday, May 31st, Pastor George Montz and the Whole Truth International Church of Americas will be in charge of the service. Bishop Melvin McCluster is the pastor. Freedom Harvest Worship Center Men's Ministry presents the Community Fish Fry Saturday, May 30th at 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Churches and sponsors are welcome. For more information, call 229-942-3034. Again, for more information, call 229-942-3034. Dr. Georgia Deriso is the pastor. Greater Morris Tabernacle Baptist Church Annual Revival will climax today at 9:30 with the senior mission in charge of the service. Deacon Arthur L. Park is the chairman. Dr. K.M. Jwwilliams is the pastor. Zion Grove Baptist Church and pastor's anniversary will be today at 10 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend. Mother Ora Morris, the church mother. Deacon Paul Alford is the chairman. Reverend Tilla Sims is the pastor. New Oak Grove Baptist Church Annual Men Day celebration will be today at 10 a.m. Reverend Terrell Tate will deliver the message. Everyone is welcome to attend. Deacon Alonzo Jones is the chairman. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. The Greater Community Baptist Church Pastoral Anniversary of Bishop Tremaine O. Alford Sr. will be today at 3 p.m. Pastor Justin Johnson of Spring Hill Baptist Church, Thomasville, Georgia, will be the speaker. Everyone has an invitation to attend. Bishop Tremaine O. Alford Sr., founder and pastor. The Hilltop Church of Christ Gospel Meeting will be Sunday, May 31st and at 11 a.m. and Monday, June 1st through Wednesday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. Brother Joe Godfrey of the Church of Christ, Albany, Georgia, will be conducting the meeting. Hilltop Church of Christ also would like to announce their Vacation Bible School, which will be held Tuesday, July 7th through Sunday, July 11th from 9 until 12. Brother James L. Hughes is the minister. Mount Bethel Baptist Church will have a two-night anniversary revival, Thursday, June 4th and Friday, June 5th. On program Thursday, Crossroad Baptist Church and Reverend Nelson Maynor. On Friday, People of Faith Ministries and Apostle Morris Jones. Mount Bethel Baptist Church will also have their church and pastor's anniversary Sunday, June 7th at 11:30 a.m. Beautiful Zion Baptist Church and pastor Reverend Lorinda Ray will be in charge of the service at 2 p.m. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Sister Sandra Mumphrey, secretary. Mother Ethel Mumphrey is the church mother. Deacon Edward Mumphrey Sr. is the chairman. Dr. Eddie Talbert is the pastor. Next Level 9th anniversary will be held Saturday, June 13th at 4 p.m. at 3rd Coyote Baptist Church Family Life Center in Albany, Georgia. On program, the Anointed Ones, Kevin Edwards Sr., Faithful and Determined, the Sons of Gospel, the Dynamic Gospel Flames, Pastor Lee Warnham and Divine Voices, Lil Willie and Company, Minister Dale Turner, and Chosen. Renewed, the admission to attend is free, and everyone has a cordial invitation to come out and support them. Fort Valley State University Chris County Head Start is now accepting applications for the 2026 through 2027 school year. Families that are interested in enrolling your children are encouraged to visit the Head Start Center at 1110 South 12th Street in Cordele, Georgia, to complete the application and receive information regarding required registration documents. For additional information prior to your visit, contact Laquita Ginwright at 229-276-9880. Again, for more information, call the center and contact Laquita Ginwright at 229-276-9880. The Empowerment Pathways Youth Bill is now accepting appointments for interviews for ages between 16 and 24. They offer the free opportunity to earn your GED, basic construction skills, career readiness, leadership training, job replacement assistance, college replacement assistance, and more. For more information, contact the program director, Marisa Wedges, at 229-276-1580. Again, for more information, contact the program director, Marisa Wedges, at 229-276-1580. The Greater Mars Tabernacle Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday morning with Sunday school at 9 a.m., worship service at 9:30 a.m. Greater Mars conference call schedule is, the call-in number is 229-329-7611. Call-in number 229-329-7611. Mother Mary Henderson is the church mother. Deacon Arthur L. Parker is the chairman. Dr. K.M. Williams is the pastor. The Gethsemane Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Deacon Johnny Wilson is the chairman. Reverend Cecil Strawler is the pastor. New Oak Grove Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday with Sunday school at 9:15, worship service at 10 a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones is the chairman. Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. The Greater Gum Creek Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today. Sunday school at 10:30 a.m. Mother Norman Solomon is the church mother. Deacon Zachary Fields is the chairman. Reverend Joseph Hagerbrook is the pastor. Beautiful Zion Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today at 11 a.m. Mother Azaline Kellogg is the church mother. Reverend Lorinda Ray is the pastor. Zion Hope Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today with Sunday school at 10:30 a.m. and worship service at 11:30 a.m. Deacon Xavier Bryant Sr. is the chairman. Reverend Woolley James Felton is the pastor. The Emmanuel Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday. Sunday school at 10 a.m., worship service at 11:15 a.m., Bible study each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mother Willie McGill, church mother. Reverend Gregory Williams is the pastor. You're invited to worship with us at New St. Stephen's Church each Sunday at 11 a.m. Join us for prayer each Tuesday at 7 p.m. via conference call. The call-in number is 732-434-2022. Also, you're welcome to join us for Bible study each Wednesday at 7 p.m. via conference call. The call-in number is 732-434-2022. Dr. Frankie Harmon is the pastor. The Temple of Praise Church of God by Faith invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday with Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11:15 a.m. Join them on live Facebook each Sunday at 11:40 a.m., Wednesday Bible study at 7 p.m. For more information, call 229-949-0144. Again, for more information, call 229-949-0144. Elder Michael Wyndham is the pastor. Beulah Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday with Sunday school at 10 a.m., morning worship at 11:15 a.m. Mother Diane Flood is the church mother. Deacon Willie Smith is the chairman. Dr. Dwayne Daniels is the pastor. The Greater Community Baptist Church invites everyone to worship with them today at 11 a.m. Bible study each Tuesday via conference call at 7 p.m. The call-in number is 605-313-9643. The access code is 888-24591. For more information, call 229-291-2084. Again, for more information, call 229-291-2084. I want to pause to say to the citizens and supporters of Chris County. Want to extend my deepest gratitude to each one who cast their vote and shared their encouragements and stood with me during this election. Your support, trust means more than words could ever say. Growth and progress take a collective effort. I humbly ask that you continue to pray for our leadership and actively support the growth of Chris County. Together, we can build a stronger, brighter tomorrow for every family in our community. Again, I want to say thank you to each of you who came out and voted and elected me as the next Chris County Commissioner. Thank you.
Again, we'd like to remind you, if you cannot join us on live here on our TV station, that you may join us each Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. until 8 o'clock a.m. on WDEC 94.7 radio, where our Jwwilliams Funeral Home program will be broadcast on the radio. And as always, you may join us each Sunday morning here on Facebook on our Jwwilliams Funeral Home Facebook page or the Jwwilliams Funeral Home YouTube channel. And now for our dedications. Our first selection this morning is dedicated in loving memory of Mrs. Magdalene Carter, who departed this life May 19th, 1965. Dedication requested by her children, Mother Martha Ruth Westbrook, Mother Willie Mae Leary, Mr. William Carter, his wife, Mrs. Catherine Carter, and Miss Linda Carter, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and the entire Carter family as they pause to remember the life of Mrs. Magdalene Carter, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mr. Roderick Chambliss, who would have celebrated his birthday on May 26th. Dedication requested by his mother, Mrs. Frances Chambliss, his siblings, and the entire Parker and Chambliss families. In loving memory of Miss Shirley Jackson, who would have celebrated her birthday May 27th. Dedication requested by her children, grandchildren, her siblings, all the members of the Gethsemane Missionary Baptist Church. Each of us pause to remember the life of one of Cordele's songbirds, Miss Shirley Jackson, gone but not forgotten. I take this opportunity this morning to wish a very special happy 43rd anniversary to Mr. Frank and Mrs. Deborah Walker, who celebrated their anniversary this past week. Dedication requested by their children, Rayshawn, Kenyatta, Charity, and the grandchildren, and all of the family as they pause and wish a very special happy 43rd wedding anniversary to Mr. Frank and Mrs. Deborah Walker. May God continue to bless your union. Happy birthday wishes are going out this morning to Pastor Georgia Daraso, who celebrated her birthday on Tuesday, May 19th. Dedication requested by her entire family, the members of her church family, and all who love and appreciate Dr. Georgia Daraso. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to our friend, our classmate, Brother Norris Mathis, the South Georgia gospel legend, who celebrated his birthday on Friday, May 22nd. Dedication requested by his wife, Minister Gloria Westbrook Mathis, the entire Mathis, Byron, and Westbrook families, and all of his many friends. We pause and say happy birthday to Brother Norris Mathis, the South Georgia gospel legend. Happy birthday to our friend and brother, Mr. James Chambliss, who celebrated his birthday, who will celebrate his birthday on Monday, May 25th. Dedication requested by his wife, Mrs. Kathy Chambliss, his mother, Mrs. Frances Chambliss, and the entire family. So they all pause and wish a very special happy birthday to Mr. James Chambliss. I'd also like to take this opportunity to congratulate and dedicate this program and this selection to all of the area graduates, the 2026 class of 2026 upon graduation, whether they're graduating from pre-K, elementary school, high school, college, wherever. We congratulate you and dedicate this program and this selection to you this morning. We'd also like to wish and say good morning to all of our friends who will join us by way of Facebook. We thank you so much for sharing with us, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube. We're most appreciative of you sharing with us each and every Sunday morning. The selection this morning is being dedicated to Ms. Willie Mae Crawford family, for Ms. Cynthia Pollock and family, Ms. Shirley Epps and family, for Ms. Barbara Roberts and family, for Ms. Janie Porter and family, Ms. Sarah Bell Jackson and family, for Ms. Patricia White and family, Ms. Shema Jackson and family, Mr. Roman Epps, Mr. Sammy Epps Jr., for the entire Redding family, the Fullwood family, Mr. Anthony and Mrs. Judy Oliver and family, Ms. Janice Williams and family, for the New Hope and Zion Grove Church families, for the Trice family, the Vance family, for Ms. Ida Ruth Bryant and family, for Mr. Calvin Douglas and family, for Ms. Mary Lois Williams and family, for Ms. Daisy Mae Jackson and family. Also, we dedicate this selection this morning to Reverend Joel Butts and family, Mother Adeline Lofton and family, Ms. Ada B. Walters and family, Mr. George and Ms. Josephine Lawrence and family. Selection is also being dedicated to Ms. Sonia Green and family, Ms. Jackie Leonard and family, Ms. Juanita Talbot and family, for Deacon Leon and Minister Kathy Spears and family, for Deacon Leroy Rogers and family, for Minister Alice Mae McKenzie and family, for Ms. Burnell Wilburn and family, Ms. Darkita Hunt and family, for Mother Evelyn B. Lewis and family, Mr. Tremel Townsend and family, Ms. Johnny Mae Williams and family, for Ms. Carol Carter and family, Mr. Charlie James Lawson and family, for Mr. Stanford Smith and family, for Ms. Jeanette Smith and family, for Ms. Mary Lee Holmes and family. The selection this morning is being dedicated to Mr. Julius Jordan and family, for the entire Holsey family, Ms. Murtis Evans and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Earl Clark Sr. and family. We also dedicate the selection this morning to Mr. and Mrs. Marcus Clark and family, for Ms. Pearline Anderson and family, for Mr. Jake and Mrs. Mary Reese and family, Mr. Silas and Mrs. Doretha Dowdell and family, for Ms. Jackie Lattimore and family, Mr. Peyton Lango and family, Mr. Mike Dinner and family, for Ms. Barbara Wilson and family, for Ms. Mary Wilson Kinchin and family, for Ms. Artist Ann Whitehead and family, for Ms. Shivani Strickland and family, for Ms. Lily Kate Granville Cotton and family, for Mr. Silas K. Vance and family, for Mr. Tony Johnson and family, for Mr. and Mrs. George Felton and family, for Ms. Easter Sanders and family. Also, the section is being dedicated to Mr. F.D. Lawton and family, for Ms. Val Carter and family, for Deacon and Mrs. J.C. Patrick Jr. and family, for Deacon and Mrs. Johnny Wilson and family, for the Armstrong family, for Deacon and Mrs. Johnny Eddie Wiggins and family. We also dedicate the selection this morning to Deacon and Mrs. Marlon Paul and family, for Deacon Charles Hardeman and family, for Ms. Patricia White and family. The selection this morning is dedicated to the Relaford family, the Bryant family, the Perry family, and to each of you who joined us this Sunday morning. Our first selection this morning. Zanders and family, for Mr. Alvin Jones and family, for Mr. Alton K. Brown and family, Ms. Rhonda Lester and family, for Mr. Calvin Ford and family, for Ms. Christine Kinchin and family, for Ms. Nita Leary and family. We apologize that we're having few more slight technical difficulties. Hopefully you all can hear me this morning. Our selection this morning is being dedicated to Mr. Earl Passmore and family, for Mr. Larry Passmore and family, for Mr. Alton K. Brown and family, for Ms. Christine Kinchin and family, for Mr. Ira Robinson and family, for the entire Jackson family, for Mr. and Mrs. Owen Askew and family, for Ms. Cynthia Rush and family, Mr. Reginald Billingsley and family, Ms. Cynthia Webb and family, for Ms. Nettie Burnham and family, for Mr. Wayne Harriel and family, for the entire Kinchin's family, for Mr. and Mrs. Alvin Lester and family, for Deacon and Mrs. James Askew and family, for Ms. Alice Henry and family, Mr. and Mrs. Donnie Brown and family, for Mr. Tony Stubbs and family, Ms. Anita Whitfield and family, for Mrs. Ella Perry and family, Ms. Cordelia Brown and family, for the Bryant family, for Ms. Darcy Owens and family, Mr. Arnell Holmes and family, for Mr. Kenneth R. Lester, past mayor of the city of Byronville, for Mr. Sammy Lewis and family, for Ms. Sherry Royal and family, for Mr. Willie James Young and the entire Young family, for the DeBruce family, for the Oglesby family, for Mr. and Mrs. Carl Westbury and family, Ms. Carlotta Leonard and family, for the entire Jordan family. Selection this morning is also being dedicated to Ms. Melan Hawkins and family, for Ms. Pamela Law and family, for the Lundy family, for Ms. Eunice Lewis and family, for the Sutton family. The selection is being dedicated to Ms. Minnie Jewel Duhart, the family of Ms. Minnie Jewel Duhart. Also for Ms. Nancy Burke and family, Mr. Tommy Rogers and family, for Mr. and Mrs. Willie B. Taylor Sr. and family, for the Cosby family, for the Bowman family, for the Daniels family. Section being dedicated to Reverend and Mrs. Thaddeus Lakeler and family. We dedicate the selection this morning to the Granville family, for the Lawson family, also for the Baskins family. Selections being dedicated to Ms. Shirley Jean Taylor and family, for each of you who join us each and every Sunday morning. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Ms. Linda Diane Jones, age 56, of 730 South MLK Boulevard, Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, May 21st at Navicent Health in Macon, Georgia. The funeral service for Ms. Linda Diane Jones will be held on Saturday, May 30th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Reverend Mathis K. Wright will officiate. The burial will follow at the Pleasant Grove Church Cemetery in Cobb, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Friday, May 29th, from 1 until 5 o'clock p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. United States Army veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan, age 72, of 1002 South 15th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Monday, May 18th at Brightmoor Hospice in Macon, Georgia. The funeral service for United States Army veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Mrs. Brenda Gale Price Ford, age 70, of 412 East 27th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Monday, May 18th at Memorial Health in Savannah, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Brenda Gale Price Ford will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams Funeral Directors of Cordele and Vienna are in charge of these arrangements during this week. Our next and final selection this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved one was laid to rest during the past week. The family of Mrs. Mary Ann Jackson Kellums of Wilcox County, Georgia. The section is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Ms. Linda Diane Jones of Americus, Georgia. The family of United States Army veteran, Mr. Napoleon Jordan of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Ms. Brenda Gale Price Ford of Cordele, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to all of our sick and shut-ins, to all of our patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, rehabilitation centers. This selection is dedicated to our ministers, their spouses and family, our retired educators, to the men and women serving in the armed forces, both stateside and abroad, to all veterans, and to everyone who listens to our program each and every Sunday morning. It is a pleasure for us to bring this program to you. Our program this morning in its entirety is dedicated in love and memory of our past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. We dedicate it this morning to all of the area graduates who have the class of 2026. We dedicate our program to you. We pray God's blessings as you prepare to enter to the next chapter of your life. We pray that much success to each of you. We thank you for tuning in to our program this Sunday morning. Our final selection this morning